we thought for our second video that we would stick with the trend of getting to know each other and introducing ourselves to you by doing the mixed girl tag.
That's us.
That's us.
We're mixed.
We're mixed.
You already know that.
Yeah. If you watched our previous video,
link down below.
Dang it. If you watched our previous video, which will be linked
down below
there, you would already know that we are in fact mixed.
Mm-hmm.
And so we thought we'd, elaborate a little bit more on that. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
Question 1. What are you mixed with?
Well, you would know this if you had watched our first video, but in case you haven't watched it, I am white and black.
And I am also white and black, but I'm also Japanese.
Facts. Question 2. Which ethnicity have you been most mistaken for?
For me, it's mostly been, like, Dominican. And that's, like, I get that.
Yeah.
And I take that as a very, like, high compliment, because Dominicans are beautiful. But then, like, also, people are always like, are you Mexican? And I'm like...
Okay, buddy. Mexicans don't look like you.
I know, that's why I'm so confused. But yeah, Dominican and Mexican.
So for me, it's never really been a specific thing I've been mistaken for, except for one time when someone thought I was Israeli, and I was like... Okay then, good for you, sir. But it's more usually along the lines of, wait, you're black? And I'm like, what did you think I was? Mm-hmm. This is not what a white person, full white person looks like, if you've seen any of those.
Question 3. Do you have curly or straight hair?
Huh. I
don't know.
It's a little bit, like this strand over here is a little straight.
Well, for me, it's really strange because I was born with straight hair, like pin straight hair, and then like by the time I was like 4, I had really curly hair, and then from the age of 4 to like 8, it was curly, and then it straightened out again when I was 8.
Oh my gosh.
And it was straight until like 8th grade, and then it started to curl again.
Curly.
So...
It used to be more like mine. It used to be a big old mane, and then she cut it.
I cut it off, all of it, freshman year. Just like, it was really short, and I liked it,
up here.
But I wouldn't do that again.
I came out of the womb looking like Corbin Blue. Okay. Question 4. Was coming from different backgrounds challenging while growing up?
A little bit, because my family has always sort of lived in that white neighborhood, if you will. And it was always, it wasn't hard because of the people, but just like looking in the mirror, waking up and like looking at my family, just being like, we are different than these people, and not like, as a child, you don't really actually pay attention to lessons that your parents teach you, but, it was difficult sometimes just being like, you're different, but,
Yeah. It was a little bit similar for me because I lived for a chunk of my life in North Carolina when I was young, and there was lots and lots of white people, and there weren't very many ethnicities, and on top of that, there was next to no mixed race people, except for one guy that I knew for 1 year, and then he moved away and did something else with his life. So it was a little bit strange to look around and not see anybody else who looks like you, and it's kind of hard to live like that growing up, but then I got used to it, and I didn't think about it too much especially when I was really young, and then as I got older I started to realize it didn't really matter. So.
Question number 5. Which background do you embrace most?
I don't really. I never really say, oh man, I'm black, or I'm white, because I'm not. I'm both. I'm a mix. I've definitely met more of my dad's family than my mother's family, but that doesn't really mean I identify with it anymore. I just feel like I'm a mixture of both, and I can bring elements from both sides of the family to my own life in the future.
Yeah. Sort of the same for me. I've never really felt like I identify as any of the races that I am. It's definitely like different because I've never really fit in with the black kids or the white kids, and definitely not the Asian kids. I've never really identified with one group.
Number 6. Have you ever been teased for being different?
Yes, but not about race.
Not really.
Sorry.
It's uninteresting. I'm sorry.
This is boring. Number 7. Have you ever been ashamed for being multiracial?
Definitely not. I think it's actually pretty cool. Especially, I remember when I was really young, I thought it was the coolest thing ever because the kids would be like, wait, your mommy's white and your daddy's black. And I'd be like, yeah, your mom's only white. I'm special. And I thought it was cool to be a little bit different. And I remember doing a project on it and I got 106%. So, I forgot what the question was.
Have you ever been ashamed?
No, I have not been ashamed.
I feel like, yes, I have been ashamed, and I am ashamed of being ashamed, but I used to be a lot less confident than I am now. That was definitely a challenge I had to overcome, and one of the things that I was really, like, unconfident about, insecure about, was not being like everyone else and not being able to fit in with other people, but I've definitely come out of that, and I'm not ashamed of it now.
And neither should you.
We're getting to that.
Okay. Number 8. Do you feel that being mixed has its benefits?
Most definitely, because I won like 8 scholarships in high school. Ooh. See, I got all the black scholarships, and then like long time ago in my family history, there's Native American, and you can get all the scholarships with that. So
yeah.
I mean, that's just one benefit.
You put it on the little PSAT, and they're like, ooh.
But yeah, other than money, I feel like I have the benefit of seeing both sides of cultures.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always just sort of accepted it as how my life is. Other than scholarships, I haven't really done much about it. It makes me more, I guess, conscious of social problems. And when people are like, oh, the black kids can't hang out with this guy, and I'm like, but
why?
They can't. Why? Race doesn't matter.
Right. And curious. I feel like you're a lot more curious about things when you have so many different, like, things to discover in your family, if you will. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Question 9. What makes being multiracial a beautiful thing?
Well, on a physical level, I feel I don't want to endorse the whole thing of mixed babies are more beautiful than like solid race babies. I'm just gonna go with it. Mixed kids are more beautiful than like a singular race kid, because that's, first of all, it's gonna tell single race kids that they're ugly, which is already a problem kids have, and we shouldn't endorse that. On an internal level, I feel like it's more
what it represents.
Yeah, and the idea that people from different races can come together and oversee other prejudices to create you, a little
something
mixed baby.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful.
Which leads us to our
last question. What advice do you have for someone who struggles with being mixed race?
Definitely what you just said is that you are a beautiful thing. You represent 2 different people, different backgrounds, coming together to make one of the most beautiful things ever, which is a family.
A life. Like, race is not a separation that you've somehow messed up. It's...
If anything, it's a challenge to break it, because look at all the great things that come out of people working together and being together.
Yeah. It's like a symbol of peace among people. Yeah. And you should relish it and not fear it.
So thanks for watching our second video. Hopefully you will stick around for more fun stuff that'll be up on this channel.
Yeah, probably more upbeat than this one.
Yeah.
But just as important.
Just as important. Bye!
Bye!
Okay, is it my turn?
Oh my gosh. You know what's perfect?
What?
I was just watching Diversity Day in Lucasfilm today.
Yo!
It was that episode of The Office, Diversity Day.
Oh gosh.
When they all had to tape those cards to their heads.
I hate Michael Scott.
We all do a little bit. It's okay.
Ooh.